The library is open and I can't wait to spy on some book lives. My fellow nosies, let's see how messy this one gets. This one is All He Ever Needed by Tay Monae. And this one does have a virgin female MC trope. It surrounds Indigo, who is basically, she's just finishing her master's degree. And that's all she's thinking about. So she's been preparing for this her whole life. She wants to go into her field and have a career, and she's been very, very focused getting to where she wants to get to. And then we have Silas, who is really controlled by both of his parents. They've been controlling his whole life from start to finish, and he is really sick of the way that they're trying to control him. And so to compensate for this, he just wants to have as much freedom as he can. So in order to do that, what he's been deciding to do is to just live his life however he wants to live it, sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with, and not have any strings attached. He doesn't want to be in any kind of relationship because he doesn't want to be feeling like he's in the same position that he's been with his parents. These two characters, they decide to sleep together, but what they don't realize is that Indigo actually gets pregnant. So then they have to decide what they're going to do in this kind of situation. Are they going to be able to work it out together? So this book is slow. It's a bit of a slow burn romance, but there is like intimate moments. There's intimacy that happens throughout the book, so it's not like nothing happens between the two characters. They just are trying to decide to put being parents first, but they keep getting drawn to each other. Some of the negatives of this book would be that there's some issues with the sentences, usually like missing out a word here or there, usually connectives like and on, you know, those types of words, and also but it is, in my opinion, possible to ignore it if you just switch off that part of your brain. And it happens quite frequently, but I don't think it would take you out of the story because it can be sort of put to the back of the mind. So small little edits needed. Also, there were some weird sentences, I would say, as well. I would say that this is kind of minor. So sentences such as his was voice stern instead of his voice was stern. Again, that happens a couple of times throughout the book, so that can throw you a little bit reading a sentence like that. But I think you can still enjoy the story even with some of these issues, although I would say they need to just have a quick extra look at it with an editor. Also, at the very end of the book, Silas hides something on his laptop from Indigo, but then this just goes unaddressed. It ends without us finding anything out. So I didn't really enjoy that. However, there is a book 2, but it is on a different couple. So I'm guessing that this will be potentially resolved inside that book, inside book 2. And then we'll get to find out a little bit about Indigo and Silas and how they're getting on in that book. That's what I'm guessing. And lastly, although there were some sweet moments and it's overall a nice book, I didn't really feel love or chemistry. It felt like they were more friends that engaged in some intimate acts and they enjoyed being around each other. So it's not that they don't have any chemistry at all. There definitely is chemistry there, but it didn't feel like, oh, these two people are in love with each other. So it very much felt like we were left at the beginning of what could potentially become something beautiful. So again, maybe as the series goes on, they keep checking up on the previous couples, and then we get to have more of a realistic feel of their love story instead of them just completely ending it in this book or dragging it on for a second book. That's how Tay Monae might choose to address some of these little niggly bits that I had with the book. As for the positives, I felt like it had the right amount of drama without it becoming a distraction to the story. And the issues between the characters were quite realistic. Not necessarily what happens, but the conversations about the issues and then what results because of that. So, for instance, Silas and his mom have an issue because, as I said in the beginning, they're quite controlling parents. So they have this issue of him feeling controlled. Everything that she does doesn't feel realistic. Like there's one thing that she does a couple of times in the book that felt not very realistic. However, the conversations that Silas had with his mom and what results in it felt realistic, and I thought that was a nice touch. I felt that both the characters were likable and they taught each other to be vulnerable in a way that develops their character, and I felt the same way with the issues and the conversations that were had between the characters, that it was all a progression of character development, and I thought that was really nice too. So overall, I would put this book on the 3-star mark because I liked the story, it was enjoyable, but again, it didn't feel like a romance the way that I was expecting it to be. Maybe that's because of some of the expectations I had when I came into reading it. I was expecting to see a love story, but because this took more of a realistic approach and things happened more organically and slower, and because it felt a little bit like Happy for Now. Not necessarily Happy for Now because they didn't have any issues in the couple that would make me think that they would break up, but because it's so new and we don't really know what's going to happen, I do think that these characters would stay together, and I do like them together. It's just that it felt so fresh by the time that you reached the end of the book, even though there were intimate moments and they clearly enjoyed each other. Now we're done. On to the next.